Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're jumping into a truly mind-bending scientific proposal about our senses. We're going to explore the possibility of a remote sense of touch. Yeah, a hidden human ability that, if it's proven, could be trained, engineered, and basically unlocked as a kind of human superpower. Okay, so let's just dive right in. I want to start with a simple question for you, one that honestly sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. Can you feel things without actually touching them? Now, you're probably thinking, no, of course not. But according to some really ambitious new research, the answer might just be yes. And we're not talking about psychic powers or anything like that. This is all about physics, biology, and a hidden channel of information we might have just completely overlooked. So, how on earth could this possibly work? I mean, how could we sense something at a distance using our sense of touch? Well, let's get into the theory behind what some are calling a potential sixth sense for touch. The inspiration for this whole idea actually comes from the natural world. Picture this. You've seen those shorebirds on a beach, right? Probing the sand. They can somehow detect food buried deep down without just randomly bumping into it. The theory is that we humans might have a much more subtle version of that exact same ability. And that leads us to the core concept of this whole proposal. It's a mechanism that sounds incredible, but it's totally grounded in the physics of granular materials, like sand. They call it the invisible information halo. Let's break that down. So, what is this halo? Okay, imagine moving your fingertip slowly through a sandbox. You're not just pushing aside the grains you're touching. The theory says your finger is actually creating a short-range field, this halo, of tiny little force ripples and pressure changes that spread out into the sand around your finger. And this is a great look at what's happening on a micro level. The scientists use these really technical terms like shear fronts and force chain reconfigurations. But really, all that means is that the grains of sand are constantly shifting and linking up, creating these invisible patterns of force that ripple out from your finger. It's pretty cool. So here's the crucial part, the real aha moment. When there's an object buried in that sand, it messes up the halo. It perturbs the field. This creates a tiny directional change in resistance, like a subtle pushback that your brain might be sensitive enough to detect, guiding your finger toward that object before you ever physically touch it. It's a fascinating theory, right? But a theory is just a theory without a way to test it. So how do you go about proving something like this? Well, you do it with what I can only describe as the ultimate sandbox experiment. The experiment they've designed is incredibly clever. It's basically a series of 9 different challenges, all designed to test this ability under various conditions. They're going to change both the person's skin and the sand itself using different stuff to see if they can isolate, measure, and maybe even enhance this remote touch sense. This is a brilliant setup, but it brings up a huge question. When you're dealing with something so subtle, a faint, an anticipatory feeling, how do you actually measure it? How do you put a number on that? And this is where the researchers introduce their hero metric, the Anticipatory Information Index, or AII. It's a single number that basically measures how much of the information you used to find an object arrived before you made physical contact. It's a direct way of measuring that invisible, pre-touch signal. So what's a good score? Well, the proposal sets the bar right here, at 0.3. An AI score of 0 would mean you're getting no pre-contact clues at all. But a score of 0.3 or higher, that would mean we're looking at a practically useful, measurable, anticipatory channel. It's the difference between a random fluke and a genuine, usable sense. This chart really helps visualize it perfectly. The whole circle represents all the information you gather while you're searching. The AII is just the size of that pre-contact slice. The bigger that slice gets, the stronger your remote touch sense is. Simple as that. And to make sure the results are rock solid, the whole research program is built on this validation pyramid. They start with a robot finger to test the pure mechanics, taking human error out of it. Then they move to humans with audio feedback to get consistent results, and finally to natural human searching. Each step has super strict quality control. This is the mark of good science. It's designed to be challenged. Okay, so let's fast forward. Let's imagine the experiments are done, the data's in, and the AI is consistently above 0.3. What would that actually mean for us? Well, this is where we get back to that idea of unlocking a human superpower. The practical applications could be
absolutely transformative. I mean, think about it. Assistive robots with a touch so delicate it's predictive, able to handle fragile things without ever making a mistake. Archaeologists could feel for priceless artifacts before their tools even get close. Search and rescue teams could detect hidden dangers under rubble, saving lives. This wouldn't just be an improvement, it would open up a whole new frontier in haptics, the science of touch, for everything from surgery to VR.
So the crucial point, the big takeaway here is this. The goal isn't just to find some cool party trick. If this information halo is real, it represents a brand new, formal channel of human touch. It's a sense that we can finally understand, train ourselves to get better at, and even engineer into the technologies of the future. This research is just such a powerful reminder of how much we still don't know about our own perception, and it leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. If we have a remote sense of touch we never even knew existed, what other hidden senses are just waiting out there to be discovered?